It appears that someone does indeed frighten the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry. Yes, somebody's wrath that he doesn't want to encounter. So much so that he's taken this particular threat very seriously. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me today, and as ever, nice to have your company. Now, as Easter approaches, you look at things, don't you, and you cast around perhaps and think, now what do I need to do for the spring and summer? What do I need to get in order? And if you're Prince Harry, of course, you might decide to look and think, maybe I need to resolve the visa issue. As you know, it's an ongoing battle over in the United States, simply because, according to him, he was a, shall we say, drug partaker, all thanks to the revelations in his book Spare. And as many people know, and the world now knows, there is a serious issue attached to that if you wish to remain a citizen in the United States. But of course, Harry, not too bright, clearly decided to reveal way too much in that autobiography. But as I said to you before, when they're paying big bucks, you have to dish up the dirt. And certainly Harry did. Now, as you know, there's an ongoing battle to see whether they can get his particular visa application upturned to be made into the public domain, to see exactly what he had written on it and what he did declare. As I told you before, though, Harry really wouldn't be used to filling in a form. An equerry, a courtier would have done that for him. He would have perused over it and then simply signed it off at the end. Is he frightened? Well, what we can tell you is, and which has been applied to me, shall I say, is that he's very frightened indeed, but not necessarily about the ongoing battle with the people that want to overturn that visa application. One man, apparently, that truly does terrify him, and prospectively he could become, of course, the next president of the United States, is none other than Donald J. Trump. In a recent interview, he sat down and said that he would look at the whole situation and no doubt ask to see the relevant documentation. Now, this may seem as Mr. Trump being high and mighty, and of course some might say petulant, and with the problems that he has himself, would perhaps he have the time? But on a more serious note, this would send a very strong message about the removal of someone who wasn't being honest on their documentation. And at this point, honestly, nobody knows. Only the people that are looking at the document and Prince Harry himself, if of course he could remember through that foggy haze. But for now, I've been told that Harry truly is incredibly nervous, worried and concerned about the situation. Now, one might just suggest that perhaps, as we know, his wife Meghan Markle wasn't too much of a fan of the President of the United States formerly. So maybe the situation is simply that they don't wish to stay in a country where perhaps she doesn't feel comfortable or agree with his politics. Either way, though, Harry's got some serious thinking to do. And more importantly, he needs to think again exactly what he put on that visa form. And will this, well, offend the Donald? And more importantly, will Donald be booting him out? You can see a very worrying time for the former royal Prince Harry. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.